It's another gorgeous night in downtown Reno, and we've got soccer on tap from Greater Nevada Field. A United Soccer League showdown as Reno 1868 welcomes the Tulsa Roughnecks. And hi everybody, welcome inside the broadcast booth alongside Colin Tabor. I'm Alex Margulies. Well, Colin, a chance tonight for Reno to clinch a spot in the playoffs for the second consecutive season. We'll talk about the scenarios with that here in a moment, but a chance here against a Tulsa team that's won only 3 games all season.
Yeah, Tulsa Roughnecks teams has really been struggling for wins this season. A lot of draws in there, 12 draws, I believe. They'll be looking to gain some points, basically end the season on a high note.
Let's take a look at the key players of the match. We'll begin with Reno, and it all starts up top with Brian Brown, the Jamaican striker, coming off of a goal on Wednesday, has now tied the all-time team record, 18 goals, with his fellow countrymate Dane Kelly. He has a chance to make history tonight here inside Greater Nevada Field.
Yeah, Brian Brown has been fantastic. 15 goals on the season, including 1 on Saturday and 1 on Wednesday. He'll be looking to add that and pass Dane Kelly's record here tonight.
On the other side for Tulsa, not known as being necessarily an explosive offensive team, but Joaquin Rivas has been one of the best strikers in the circuit.
Yeah, Joaquin Rivas has really shown to be a great player in this level. 11 goals on the season. Expect for him to come in from the left and try to have some shots, try to get a goal.
Should be a great one here tonight inside Greater Nevada Field. It's Reno 1868 and the Tulsa Roughnecks. United Soccer League action coming up next here on Nevada Sports Net. Look at the Battle-Born Brigade here at Greater Nevada Field. Second time these two have faced off this season. Reno, 13-7-10, coming in a tie for 8th place in the USL Western Conference. And again, as we mentioned in the open, possible for them to clinch a playoff spot for the second consecutive season here tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. We begin with the visiting Tulsa Roughnecks. You see their record 3-15-12. They're in 15th place in the Western Conference. Slotted into a 4-4-2. And we talked about Joaquin Rivas in the open. This is a Tulsa team, despite not having so many good results. This group has really had a lot of continuity. They've had a chance to play together quite a bit.
Yeah, this is basically their typical starting lineup. Normally they line up in a 4-2-3-1. We might see them in a flat 4-4-2 with Cervania, normally playing as the 10, sliding to left mid, and Joaquin Rivas playing next to Michael Gamble.
Take a look at the other side of the pitch in Reno, 1868 for Ian Russell. almost the same lineup that he sent out on Wednesday when Reno topped Rio Grande Valley by a 4-0 final. Chris Wehan is back with the team. The only difference, Brenton Griffiths playing for Jimmy Ockford, who goes back to San Jose.
Yeah, and on Wednesday we talked so much about that midfield of Gaia Ben, Seth Kasipley, Lindo Mafek, and Chris Wehan, and how well they connected with each other. Expect the same. Expect them to find each other in the middle of the park, play between the lines before releasing Brian Brown and Antoine Openo.
All right, we are just about set for kickoff here tonight. A gorgeous evening here in downtown Reno. Select the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Free shipping on orders over $50. See Reno wearing their normally white road kits. Chance to show these in front of the fans here tonight inside Greater Nevada Fields. And you see Tulsa there, their orange jerseys with blue stripes. Tulsa led by Michael Nissian, his first season with the club. And, of course, Reno led by Ian Russell, back for his second season here in downtown Reno. And he has done a magnificent job running the ship here for this franchise.
Yeah, on Saturday, Reno 1868 came out in the new third kit, the yellow kit. Wednesday playing in their blue, now in white. Laundry must be broken at Greater Nevada Field.
Our head referee tonight is Greg Dopka. Stephen McConigal, Eric Earhart on the assists. As well, our fourth official in this one here tonight is Robert Vincenzi.
And right away, Chris Wehan finding space between the lines, picks up the ball and tries to find Openo, but Openo's not on the same page as him there.
Seth Kasipley plays it forward for Reno. He would get them on the board in the 12th minute against Rio Grande Valley as they would really dominate that match, Colin. We talked about it on Wednesday. It was one of the most impressive matches, not only this season, but we've seen from Reno over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, Reno 1868 were incredible on Wednesday. Just everything was clicking. They were moving the ball around so well, scoring goals, creating chances, and very solid at the back as well. I think Ian Russell will be hoping for a similar display out here tonight.
Brian Richards on the throw-in. Here's Lindo Mafeka in the box. Antoine Openo still fighting for it, and the Roughnecks able to clear it out. It'll be a throw-in for Reno here. Another chance here in the early goings. Thrown into Duke Lacroix. He had a monster game on Wednesday. He picked up a pair of assists. Has really been involved in the offensive attack, playing from his left back spot. Wehan was trying to get it to him, but it was stolen away. And here come the Roughnecks the other way. Paris Guy able to pull that one from Chris Wehan.
Yeah, look out for this right-hand side of Tulsa Roughnecks between Eti Tavares and Paris Guy. Both offer a bit of offensive firepower, and they're going to look to overlap on the right and then find that far post where Joaquin Rivas has been excellent, crashing the far post and scoring goals.
Claudio Munoz will put it back into play. 33-year-old, the most experienced player here for Tulsa. Chilean national, a lot of time in his home country playing first division soccer in Chile. This is his first season in the States. Really long career, 2004 until 2017 played first division in Chile, and that's one of the best soccer leagues in South America.
Yeah, he brings a lot of experience to this Tulsa Roughnecks back line. A lot of experience playing in one of the top leagues in the Western Hemisphere.
Jimmy Carroll racing back there. Last touch by Reno, so an early corner kick here for Tulsa. It's a team that's only scored 34 goals this year. They play it in. 26th in the USL, bottom third. Trying to make a move there was Tavares, and goes out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for Matt Persano. Picked up his third clean sheet of the season. He's made 5 appearances now here with Reno 1868 this season. He has spent the majority of the season playing on the bench behind both Andrew Tarbell and now JT Marcinkowski, who had been here in Reno. But Bersano last year, he was a huge piece for Reno as they finished third in the USL, had 9 clean sheets, and that was one of the best finishes, tied for 4th in the circuit.
Yeah, Matt Bersano's such a great goalkeeper for Reno in these last 2 years. I think he brings such a cool head, a lot of experience. He's very vocal to his back line. I think that just adds to the defensive prowess of Reno, having a goalkeeper like that who's not afraid to give directions.
Here's Duke Lacroix again. We'll play it back to Guy Abens. Over to Kisipli. His goal that was scored on Wednesday, his 3rd of the season, now has 7 in his 2 years here in downtown Reno. Kisipli from nearby Rockland, California, Sacramento suburbs. Here's Brian Brown. Brown stripped up. Whistle comes from the head referee, Dopka. And Brown clutching his left ankle as he'll be helped up from the grounds. Lindo Mafeka, Chris Weehan.
Yeah, I think we can expect a ball from Lindo Mafeka, an in-swinging cross, trying to find someone like Zach Carroll or Brenton Griffiths on the far post. He's going to look to drive this in there, have it hang between the goalkeeper and the penalty spot.
Here's Mafeka in the 6th minute. No, it's going to be Weehan. Blasted into the box. Cleared out by Tulsa. Brown giving pressure there as that one rolls out. Look down at the Reno bench. And Ian Russell. Bit of a chilly night here this evening in downtown Reno. Not terribly uncomfortable, but certainly shifting into fall. Hard to believe summer is winding down, this USL season winding down. Another chance here for Reno. It's Abens who took a right-footed crack at it, but he couldn't quite hit it cleanly. Mafeka or Lacroix there. Now it's Opino. Takes a right-footed strike and it's swatted away by Fabian Serta.
Yeah, and a good save from Serta there, staying big, not going to ground too early against Opino's shot. But after Reno lose the ball, look how quickly they win it back and then release Opino.
Chris Weehan now from the corner. $12 goals and 14 assists over 2 years here with Reno 1868. He's only played 9 matches this season. The USL Rookie of the Year last year. Plays it into the box. Whistle comes as Brenton Griffiths was taken down, but they'll say that one was against Reno, and it'll be Serta who will put it back into play. He does very quickly. About 8 minutes gone here tonight inside Greater Nevada Fields. Reno and Tulsa. Only 4 matches left, including tonight.
Good passing from Tulsa. Looks like it'll be a handball there. Seth Kisipli trying to block the cross.
Just outside the box. Lining it up for Tulsa. Alejandro Covarrubias. Vukovic next to him. It's going to be Covarrubias. Tries to drive one low, hits it right into a Reno wall, and they will quickly clear that one out. Weehan putting pressure as Guy is able to get it away for Serta. Also a Chilean native, 29-year-olds. Played a couple seasons of second division soccer in his home country. Second year here with Tulsa, and he's got some stats on his name I think he'd probably rather not have. 104 saves this year. He's been under a lot of pressure this season. This Roughnecks defense has allowed the third most amount of goals this year with 68 finding the back of the net against them.
Yeah, this is a Roughnecks team that's been struggling this year, but whenever you watch them, you can see a team that has the right ideas. They link up really well. They interchange positions well. They're having troubles finding the back of the net with the exception of Joaquin Rivas, and they're having troubles in the defensive third as well, keeping goals out. But everywhere in between, they look good.
All the way back to Josh Morton, who sends it to the sideline. All-time ball there for Gamble. Gamble trying to get around Guy at Benz. Over to Rivas. Richards there to cut it off. Intercepted by Tulsa.
Excellent from both Kasipli and Brent Richards not to give the ball away. Just a quick little move to get out of danger and keep the ball. Something Ian Russell spoke about in this game. He doesn't want to force things too early. If something is on early, then go for it. But if not, keep possession, keep the ball, and wait for something to open up. That's where Reno tend to do best.
Here's Duke Lacroix. Lacroix takes a left-footed crack in just a little bit too much. We've seen this a lot recently, especially from Lacroix. He has been an offensive catalyst, and you just feel like a goal has got to be coming pretty soon for Duke Lacroix.
Yeah, he does so well carrying the ball forward, transitioning from defense to offense, forcing people back. We saw both Paris Guy and Eti Tavares having to cover him. And when your winger's having to cover your fullback, your team's going to be pinned back.
Weehan. Serta trying to punch it away. He actually missed it there. A sliding save from Covarrubias.
And Serta did just enough for it to avoid Brenton Griffith's head. Just got fingertips on it. It was destined for the Jamaican center back there.
See Griffiths retreating back in his defensive position. That's one of his best qualities. Griffiths, he is an excellent player in the air. Guy that started 23 games in the inaugural season last year. Tonight his 10th appearance, 8th start. USL veteran, he was a second team selection with Orange County back in 2015.
Yeah, kind of saw him lose his spot this year, but his forced his way back into Ian Russell's plans has been fantastic since doing so.
Guy leading the attack again, plays it forward for Tavares, and whistle comes against Tulsa. That back four right now, not easy to crack. There's a lot of talent, a lot of depth when you look at the four tonight. Lacroix, Griffiths, Carroll, and Richards. And then behind them, Jordan Morrell and Thomas Janjigian, two players that have seen a lot of playing time over the last 2 years. Both that could easily be inserted as starters, but that just goes to show the kind of depth that Ian Russell has got this year. And that's something he talked about at the beginning part of the season. He really felt like his team, 1 through 11, and the bench, and even after that this team was deeper than the team that finished third last year.
And I completely agree with him. I mean, that 11 last year was fantastic. They were easily the most exciting team in all of USL. But now there's just strength in numbers with Reno 1868. If someone goes down, there's someone to fill their spot. I mean, we saw last year in that run to playoffs, a couple injuries up front, and Reno suddenly started struggling for goals. But Danny Mazoski, who was the leading striker coming into the season, has been injured for a good portion of the season now, and Reno have still been able to score goals without him. It shows the strength and depth having guys like Danny Mazoski and Mo Chow, who are both excellent strikers in their own right. But having Brian Brown and Antoine Opino in front of them.
Antoine Opino trying to center it in there for Chris Weehan, and 2 times Munoz able to clear. But that's going to set up yet another corner here early for Chris Weehan.
Yeah, Munoz blocks it twice there. Antoine Opino getting into a good position, getting the better of Paris Guy.
Griffiths once again coming down from his center back spot. He's in the middle. And Serta quickly wants to send it the other way.
Yeah, Serta's looked for that a couple times now. Either Joaquin Rivas or Michael Gamble on the run when winning the ball. Trying to catch Reno when Reno send their center backs forward for the corner.
Here's Opino again. Trying to get around Morton. And this time he forces a corner off of Morton.
Yeah, good recovery from Morton. It looks like Opino gets the better of him, but Josh Morton is able to get that crucial touch, put it out for a corner. Opino's looked dangerous early on, though, running at the Tulsa back line.
Almost had that one. Reno had Brent Richards screaming in and almost connected. But they'll blow that one against Reno, and Tulsa will take possession here in the 17th minute.
Yeah, that one looked dangerous. It looked like Brent Richards was just trying to get a flick onto the far post. Brenton Griffiths, it looks like he was claimed he was being held. Doesn't find him, and Tulsa get the throw.
Here's Tavares for Tulsa. Tulsa putting something together here, but then a whistle again. And it goes against the Roughnecks. Well, certainly keeping an eye on some of the other games across the USL. One in particular, San Antonio and Seattle. Talked about Reno's potential to clinch here tonight. In order to do that, they're going to need some help from the Sounders. Reno clinches if San Antonio loses to the Sounders and Reno draws. If San Antonio draws and Reno wins, then Reno also will clinch. Right now, though, San Antonio's got a 2-1 lead, and that game is in the 81st minute.
Yeah, it might not be tonight that Reno gets that playoff spot, but with 3 games after this, you can't imagine Reno giving this up to San Antonio. San Antonio basically have to pull a miracle to grab the 8th spot.
Reno really putting themselves in strong position. What got them here was an incredible 3-month stretch from April 21st until July 28th. Reno did not lose a single match. They went 10-0-6 during that stretch, only allowed 12 goals during those 16 games, and went from a team that was at the bottom of the Western Conference and vaulted them into a position once again to make the postseason. Here comes Opino. Left-footed strike, and just wide. Antoine Opino, once again, really in the mix when it comes to Reno's attack here tonight.
Yeah, and Openo's looking really sharp tonight. I think he's been struggling as of late, but tonight he's been taking people on, getting good chances. That's 2 shots now for the striker. You have to imagine next good opportunity he gets is going to hit the back of the net.
Openo, 3 goals, 10 assists this year. He's 4th in the USL in assists. Incredibly important to last year's team. He had 12 goals and 6 assists during the 2017 season. One of the real core players for Ian Russell.
Yeah, I think he's so important to this team, not just his goal scoring ability, his ability to, create chances, have assists, but his ability to carry the ball, run at people, make people afraid when he has the ball at his feet, and his defensive work too. He's always the one leading the press, the first one trying to win the ball back. And having a forward who can defend is crucial to the way Ian wants to play.
Openo right there had a chance at it. Once again, being tough on the attacking side.
We saw right there how he just baited Vukovic's touch before releasing on it. Wins the free kick here, and a good opportunity for Reno.
Here's Lindo Mafeka, the South African native. It's going to be Weehan. Tavares there to break it up. And a throw in now for Reno.
Yeah, and Weehan really trying to get a lot of whip on that ball. Can't beat the first defender, though.
Griffiths putting pressure there as Serta goes into his line. When you look at what Reno's got left after tonight, some tough matchups. No whistle there. Hard slide takes out Mafeka.
Yeah, and that's the kind of challenge you go back and book after play goes out. Referee does well to give advantage, but he has to go back to that next time the ball goes out of play. That was a dangerous tackle on Mafeka there.
Good ball there for Tavares, who takes a crack at it and trying to go to the back corner.
Not a bad look by Tavares at all. Tries to catch Bersano off his line, sees him cheating to the far post, thinking it's going to be an early cross. Tavares just tries to chip it past Bersano. Good opportunity there.
Looks like a yellow card given to Tulsa's Nemanja Vukovic. Or excuse me, that was Ivan Mrkovic.
Yeah, referee handles that really well, gives advantage, but next time it goes out of play, it goes and books Mrkovic.
Mrkovic, Vukovic, both from Yugoslavia. Both veterans in the USL. Both part of Sacramento's USL championship team in their inaugural season back in 2014. Chance here for Tulsa. And Bersano will just let that one go past him.
Yeah, Tulsa been linking up really well. It's just been the final ball that's been lacking. I think a bit of a poor decision there by Covarrubias, trying to chip that into the path of Cervania. But I've been impressed with their ability between these three of Cervania, Tavares, and Rivas to be able to interchange positions, create a lot of movement, make it hectic for the Reno defense.
The USL's official Twitter feed will keep you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Here's Brian Brown. Brown couldn't quite keep it in there. Another wave from the Reno attack, continuing to look good here in this first half.
Yeah, really clever from Lindo Mafeka there. Starts to drive it inside, draws the Tulsa defense with him before hitting the reverse pass to Brian Brown.
A little more than halfway through regulation time here in the first half. Still 0-0. And Tulsa, despite having only 21 points this season, they have not looked out of place here tonight. These two teams did fight to a 1-1 draw back in early May in Tulsa. In that game, Tulsa took the advantage first, a goal from Paris Guy. Lindo Mafeka had one of his 4 goals on the season to find an equalizer for Reno.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately for Tulsa, I think they play really well in the middle of the field, just either end where they struggle. And I mean, that's where, at the end of the day, that's what matters, is scoring goals and not conceding goals.
Here's Antoine Opino. Brian Brown. Brian Brown! And Reno's on the board as Brian Brown becomes the all-time record holder, his 19th goal in Reno 1868 history.
Yeah, and Brian Brown just gets the better of Josh Morton there and buries it past Serta for his 16th goal of the season and 19th goal overall in a Reno 1868 jersey. Fantastic strike there from Brian Brown.
What a story this 24-year-old has been. A guy that scored 9 goals in 2016 with Charlotte. Ian Russell really wanted to go after him for the inaugural season. He always felt like Brian Brown could be a difference-making player, not only at this level, but even higher up. And last year, with all the different weapons they had, he was a guy that didn't get to see a ton of playing time. He managed to score 3 goals, and he did do well in his role. But in the absence of Dane Kelly this year, he has really been an incredibly consistent source for Reno at the top of their formation.
You always felt like last year, even when he wasn't getting goals, Brian Brown was always effective. He was always positive in his play, always making things happen. And now as the main striker, he's showing how much he can do in front of goal. He's been fantastic. It seems like every chance he gets, he puts it away.
So Reno, a team that has picked up 7 points in their last 3 matches, off to a good start here tonight. A 1-0 lead thanks to the goal from Brian Brown. Here's Duke Lacroix. And that one kicked away by Guy to get it away from Lacroix, but it looks like it last touched Reno.
And a good run from Lacroix, and Brenton Griffiths finds the run there, but excellent covering by Paris Guy there.
Not to be forgotten, too, with that Brian Brown goal, Antoine Opino gets the assist, and that's his 11th of the year. And we've been talking about it here in the first half. Antoine Opino has really been the driving force in Reno's attack.
He's looked so dangerous in this opening 30 minutes, constantly going at people. You see how he just draws the Tulsa defense into him before slipping through Brian Brown with a perfectly weighted through ball. good press there from Tulsa to win the ball when Reno were looking comfortable in possession.
Here's Covarrubias. Centers it for Gamble. Now it's Gee. Urbania has it stolen away by Richards and Mafeka. Played forward to Kisipli. Once again, it's Antoine Opino. Mafeka over to Lacroix. Lacroix. Right foot and swatted away by Fabrin Serta. And once again, Duke Lacroix this close to his first goal of the season.
We kept saying it Wednesday, when is Duke Lacroix going to get his goal? And it looked like it was going to be a for sure goal there. But Serta with a magnificent save. Duke Lacroix looks like he's going to cross it in, gets everyone to commit before coming back onto his right foot and just trying to place it into the far post. But Serta comes up big.
Really a quality strike there, too, from Lacroix. Weehan headed in. 2-0 Reno. And it's Chris Weehan with the goal. Or excuse me, Weehan the assists and headed in by Jimmy Carroll. Zach Carroll.
Yeah, Zach Carroll just on the near post. Has to backtrack a little bit. Little bit tough to get power on this when you're backpedaling, but he does really well just to place it into the far post to make it 2-0 for Reno.
For the record, Chris Weehan to Zach Carroll. I've got it correct this time. Reno is firing here in the first half. 2-0 on top of the Roughnecks.
Yeah, it was a great delivery by Chris Weehan there to find Zach Carroll, and Zach Carroll just nods it in.
Don't think that goal is going to make the highlight reel. Whistle comes as Kisipli goes sliding in. And slow to get up is Vukovic.
Yeah, Seth Kisipli just catches Vukovic a little bit. The Montenegrin's slow to get up. But Tulsa find themselves in a position they didn't want to be in. They've been playing well. They haven't been able to find the final ball, but they've been able to link up really well. But then Reno just find themselves 2-0 up, and I think that's a pretty good indicator of Tulsa's season.
You can watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season. Stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page. Head to facebook.com/USL. Alongside Colin Tabor, Alex Margulies here tonight in downtown Reno. Reno with goals from Brown and Carroll as they continue their march to the 2018 postseason.
There was a good dummy by Tavares to find Paraski. Paraski's return ball can't find Tavares, though Lacroix read it really well. But Tulsa are pressing high, trying to win it back.
A bend being harassed. Able to find Mafeka. Nice move there to get around a man. Mafeka finds Duke Lacroix. Lacroix gets around the keeper. Can he find it here? And just missed again.
And that was dangerous from Serta there to go out like that. If he catches Lacroix, it was clear that Lacroix was getting to the ball first. But look at that little nutmeg from Mafeka before releasing Lacroix with a perfectly weighted through ball. That could have been bad for Serta, but Lacroix just can't find the net.
Another corner. Weehan put it right into the feet of Brenton Griffiths, but couldn't get a shot off.
Yeah, I think Brenton Griffiths is beating himself up there. Can't believe how much space he has. The biggest guy in a white jersey out here tonight, and nobody on Tulsa picks him up at all the time in the world, but just gets his touch wrong. There was Joaquin Rivas, this time popping up on the right. We've seen him primarily on the left side, but these three behind Michael Gamble like to interchange positions. Bit of a speculative shot there by Joaquin Rivas, being forced away from goal by Lindo Mafeka. Just tries to have one, but can't get that one right.
Reno coming off of a 4-0 win Wednesday, leading 2-0 here in the 37th minute. Goals from Brian Brown and Zach Carroll.
Ooh, that's a great read from Duke Lacroix. Joaquin Rivas was getting in behind.
San Antonio in a match that they absolutely had to win, got the win, 3-1 over the Seattle Sounders. They keep their playoff chances alive, although, as you mentioned, very slim. Reno, after tonight, 3 more matches, and they'll play 3 very good teams in Portland, Phoenix, and Orange County, 3 teams ahead of them in the Western Conference. 3 really good tests for Ian Russell and his team if they want to make the playoffs. And then even if you get in, this is the type of competition you're going to have to win games against.
Yeah, these are 3 teams that they could very well likely play in playoffs. So it'll be a great test in the run-up to the postseason to see how they do against teams like this.
You know, it's interesting. We were talking before the match about Brian Brown, and you had talked about kind of comparing him to Dane Kelly's season. One of the differences, Dane Kelly, you saw in a lot of his matches. I mean, he had a couple of hat tricks. I mean, there were some games where he would really pile on goals, and he was incredible at doing that. Brian Brown, over the course of the season, in some regards, has been a little bit more consistent in the fact that he's scoring pretty much every game.
Yeah, I think Brian Brown's always due for a goal a game. He's picked up some really important ones. I mean, we saw with Dane Kelly, early hat tricks, maybe 2-3 goals against some of the weaker teams. He also scored some great goals against the stronger teams. Remember the hat trick he scored against Phoenix Rising last year. But I think Brian Brown has shown consistency in promising a goal a game. He's had a fantastic return.
Seth Simply the interception. Finds Chris Weehan in the middle of the field. Back to Kasipli. Tries to find Weehan or Opano back in the box, but Surt is there to receive it.
It looks like Mafeka just goes into the back of, I think it's Merkovich there. Just tries to anticipate the pass and step in front of it. Just catches Merkovich at the same time there and gets a talking to from the referee.
Final 5 minutes of regulation here in this first half. Of those final 3 games of the season, only one more here at Greater Nevada Fields. And that's going to be on the 13th of October against Orange County, a team that right now is the #1 team in the Western Conference. Again, before that, road matches in Portland and in Phoenix, 2 really good teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough test there at the end. But Reno in a very good run of form. They're playing well, they're linking up, and they're scoring goals. So they'll be relishing these tests against the likes of Orange County and Phoenix and Portland Timbers too.
Another chance here, and it was Antoine Opano. Just barely missed the conversion there.
And that's a tough chance to put away. It looks much easier than it really is. Looping in. Opano has to watch it over his shoulders and redirect it on the bounce. Can't quite get it redirected towards goal, though. And Serta will walk away from that one relieved.
Orange County with a win earlier this week over Las Vegas. They've won 4 straight to get them to 63 points. Phoenix just behind them, then Sacramento, Real Monarchs, Portland. Reno, if they come away with 3 here tonight, would vault into 6th place in the USL Western Conference.
And if Reno finishes 6th and the rest stays the same, that will be a very, very interesting playoff game. First round against Sacramento Republic. I think that's what everyone in the Battle Boring Brigade is hoping for a first-round playoff match, being able to have the 2-hour drive over to Sacramento.
Opano once again trying to get into position. Continues to harass this Tulsa defense. Weehan. Into Mafeka. He's taken down in the box.
Oh, and he
keeps it alive.
Somehow wiggles his way out of that one.
Here's Duke Lacroix. Trying to curl it into the back corner. Now it's Kasipli. And Serta will just clear it out.
And I think Mafeka will feel hard done by. Tangle legs. We can't quite see what happens if he was taken out or if Josh Morton got the ball. Referee waves play on, and Reno were almost able to create another chance out of it.
45 seconds left here in the first half in regulation time. Brent Richards finds Antoine Opino. Trying to center it there for Brown.
And Tavares, who we saw on the right side mostly in this half, is now popped to the left.
Tavares keeps it alive for Tulsa. Couldn't quite time it there, had a chance to link up.
And Tulsa just missing that final ball. That was a good exchange there. Tavares just looked for Joaquin Rivas, just overhit him slightly there.
See there, just 1 minute of stoppage time added. Coming up just before halftime, our sideline reporter, Kylie Diesner. She'll chat with head coach Ian Russell. Once again, I think he has to be pleased with what his team has done here tonight.
Yeah, I think if you were Ian Russell and you looked at these last 4 home games, you try to set 10 points out of 12. I think winning all 4 believing that might be a little unrealistic. But 10 points out of 12 is 3 points in a draw, and it looks like Reno will get that after this 4-game homestand.
And there's the whistle for the end of the first half. Reno continues to cruise. A dominant first half against the Tulsa Roughnecks as they take a 2-0 lead into halftime. Goals from Brian Brown, that came in the 26th minute. A record-breaking goal for Brown, who has now scored 19 over his career in 2 seasons, passing fellow Jamaican Dane Kelly. And in the 31st minute, it was Zach Carroll on the corner kick from Chris Weehan. We've got Kylie Diesner down on the field. She's with Ian Russell. What does Ian have to say?
Thanks so much, Alex, here with head coach Ian Russell. Now, Ian, up 2-0 at the half, and there was tons of opportunities for the score to be even higher. Why so much success in this first half?
I think we're moving the ball really quickly and sharply, creating chances. It's good to score 2. Let's get more in the second half.
All right, and then after that goal by Brian Brown, he's now the leading goal scorer for Reno 1868 FC. Some thoughts on him this season?
I'm really proud of Brian. He's a guy, his work ethic has just improved so much, and he's been rewarded for it.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Back to you, Alex.
All right, the boys are rolling here tonight in downtown Reno, 2-0 on top of the Tulsa Roughnecks. We will have second half action, much more coming up. Stay tuned for more. You're watching Reno 1868 United Soccer League action right here on Nevada Sportsnet.
Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Shot ripped in! Alex Mendoza! Goal! Mendoza! Sunday the other way! Oh, what a goal! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba! Pure brilliance from Ricardo Pereira. Krasinski a diving stop. Must-see TV.
Hey soccer fans, I'm Courtney Hudson here with Reno 1868 FC, and this is your look around the league. As we enter week 29 of the regular season, Real Monarchs SLC, Sacramento Republic, and Portland Timbers 2 join Orange County and Phoenix Rising in clinching a playoff spot. Orange County continues to lead the conference with 60 points, with Phoenix Rising following 1 point behind. Here's a look at the games being played later in the week. Key games on Saturday as second place Phoenix Rising hosts 7th place St. Louis FC, and 4th place Sacramento Republic FC welcomes the 5th place Portland Timbers 2. The United Soccer League has unveiled a new structure and brand identity for each of its top 3 leagues for the 2019 season. These leagues, USL Championship, USL League 1, and USL League 2, will go into effect in advance of the 2019 season in hopes to continue to push the limits of what's possible for professional soccer in North America. Week 29 of the regular season will be packed with 22 games as multiple teams take aim at securing a place in the 2018 USL Cup playoffs over the next 5 days. North Carolina FC forward Donovan Iwalu named USL Player of the Week for Week 28 of the 2018 season. Iwalu recorded the second 4-goal game of the regular season that included a hat trick in the first 33 minutes of NCFC's 6-1 victory over Atlanta United 2. That's your look around the league for this week. Enjoy the second half of the game here at Greater Nevada Field.
Reno 1868 and the Tulsa Roughnecks United Soccer League action here on Nevada Sports Net. So welcome you back inside of the broadcast booth alongside Colin Tabor. I'm Alex Margulies. Reno out to a fantastic start, 2-0 in this one as Brian Brown is able to find the back of the net for the 19th time in his career. He has been such a spectacular player to watch this season, Colin.
Yeah, and especially tonight with a fantastic goal. Ran on to open nose through ball and just buried it past third. A great finish from Brian Brown.
You know, Reno played a really complete 90-plus minutes on Wednesday, and they're doing it again here tonight. I really feel like this team is rounding into maybe some of their top form of the season right now.
And this is when you want to hit top form right in this run off to playoffs. They're hitting, just playing as best as they can right now, and it really is a worry for these other teams in the Western Conference.
About 6 minutes or so until we get the second half action started back up in the second to last home game of the regular season here for Reno. Colin, let's dive into the first half highlights. And really from the very beginning, Reno was able to get success offensively, and it was Antoine Openo really leading the charge.
And Openo looked so dangerous in that first half. A shot before that as well that was really good. And then look at this through ball. Just finds it perfectly weighted to Brian Brown, and Brian Brown pounces on it. 16th goal of the season for Brown. Again, 19 all-time. He passes fellow Jamaican Dane Kelly for the most all-time. Then it was Duke Lacroix. He was that close to finding his first goal. But then moments later, Chris Weehan finding Zach Carroll on the header. He gets his second goal of the year. And that's how the scoring finished up. Carroll the goal in the 31st minute as Reno takes a 2-0 lead on the Tulsa Roughnecks. You know, we had mentioned earlier a possibility of Reno maybe clinching here tonight in downtown Reno. However, that is not going to happen after a 3-1 victory for San Antonio. But Reno gets a win here tonight. They find themselves only 1 point away from making the postseason. They have to feel good about their chances if they can do that. Yeah, it's not going to happen tonight, but Reno have to feel pretty confident of getting into playoffs, and they're not going to settle for 8th, I don't think. I think they're going to try to push for as high as they can, looking at 7th, 6th, 5th, and who knows what happens in these last remaining games.
Yeah, things are very, very bunched up. It's not out of the question that Reno could finish in the top 4 and find themselves hosting a playoff game in the first round, as they did last year when they finished up the season in 3rd place. Right now, If Reno gets 3 points tonight, that would get them 52, and that would put them into a tie for 5th place with Portland, a team that they will face next on the road. They'll play P2 in the middle of the week next week. But still a lot to go here. Still have to take care of business against this Tulsa team. And if you're the Roughnecks, after seeing Reno score 2 goals, what do you do to try and get back in this game?
Well, I think Tulsa Roughnecks, and this goes over their whole season, just need to be better in both boxes. They need to be better preventing chances, and they need to be better their final ball and finishing. I think they can keep trying to play the way they have been playing, trying to overload one side. Maybe Joaquin Rivas drifts the same side as Tavares. Maybe Cervania drifts with them and try to find Michael Gamble, but that final ball just has to be better.
Quite the entrance there for Casey Tate. He comes back down to the field, one of the assistant coaches for Reno 1868. Fans eagerly awaiting the start of the second half. Saw Ian Russell come out of the locker room a few minutes ago. How do you organize your team for the second 45 minutes after leading 2-0? Obviously, has to feel very good about what they're doing. What do you think the message is to try and finish out this match?
I think more of the same. They want to keep playing the same way. They don't want to get complacent, and they don't want to just sit back and absorb pressure the whole time. They still want to be able to knock the ball around, create chances, and threaten Tulsa's back line. I don't think Ian Russell will be content with just a 2-0 win. I think he might want to grab 1 or 2 more in the second half.
Colin, something else that happened this week, big news for the United Soccer League. It was really a historic day for soccer in North America. The USL unveiling a new brand identity and a streamlined structure that will see basically 3 levels of USL play, starting with the top tier, the USL Championship, which is this league here that Reno plays in. That's what it'll be called next year, USL Championship. Then there's USL League 1 and USL League 2, basically creating a second league, a Division 3 level league in the League 1, and then the formerly known as the PDL will become USL League 2. This is really exciting for soccer in America, is it not?
I love what's happening. I mean, if you look at it, the United States is so big. Not every city in this country can support an MLS club. So to build lower league soccer will be the future of soccer in this country, and I think this new announcement by USL is definitely a step in the right direction.
More folks coming out of the locker room. Trainer Steve Patera, along with Brett Carleen, team administrator. Squad coming back out here as we are inching away from the start of the second half here tonight. You know, it was something I talked about with Eric Edelstein. He had come by on our NSN Daily Show yesterday right here on NSN, and we had talked about how this Reno team has kind of set the blueprint in a lot of ways for taking a baseball facility and making it soccer available. And that's what you're going to see with a lot of these USL League 1 teams, is a lot of teams that have baseball right now across the United States are now going to be able to introduce to their fans really high-quality soccer.
Yeah, and I think Eric Edelstein definitely has the right blueprint. Having the management cover both the Reno Aces, the AAA baseball team, along with Reno 1868, has helped build a group identity between the two teams. It's not just Reno 1868 borrowing the stadium for a little bit. Both teams call this place home, and I think it really shows here.
And tremendous efforts by the facilities team here, led by Rich Hill, who does a fantastic job down on the field in terms of keeping this pitch in the shape that it is. And we're just about ready to go here. Tulsa will have possession to start the second half. Back in goal for Reno, Matt Bersano. He's already got 3 clean sheets in 5 games. Now 12 in his career in the USL. There was 1 substitution at halftime for the Roughnecks. Josh Morton is out. Adrian Husino is in.
Yeah, and like for like substitution at center back. Josh Morton must have had a problem. I thought he played decently well, covered a couple runs of Antoine Opino and Linda Mafeka pretty well.
Tulsa now working towards the Battle-Born Brigade. Seth simply will throw it in for Reno. Elects to go backwards for Guy Abends. Only 4 teams that have not officially clinched a playoff spot. Only 4 teams basically for 3 spots. 1 team will not make it right now. San Antonio is the team on the outside, as that ball struck well but too high in front of goal. Good chance here early though by Tulsa.
Oh, and it's a great ball by Matt Bersano to find Chris Weehan, but he's just taken out there by Cervania.
Here's Lindo Mafeka.
And look at that link-up play by Reno.
Lacroix takes a crack at it, trying to get another one.
You can tell how badly Lacroix wants a goal these past couple games. Constantly getting forward, trying to shoot, not just put the ball across.
I think his team would love to see him score a goal as well, as productive as he has been.
I think if anyone deserves it, it's Duke Lacroix with how much output he's put offensively, taking people on, carrying the ball.
By the way, the match is still going tonight. Sacramento's got a 1-0 lead on Portland. That one in the 33rd minute. Phoenix and St. Louis have played to a 0-0 draw. No score as well, just underway between Oklahoma City and Las Vegas. Sacramento, if they can top Portland, they would vault into 3rd place in this Western Conference race. It's also organizing here. Vukovic cleared away by Griffiths.
And that was great defending from Brenton Griffiths. Get on the end of it, take that step forward to be able to beat it before Gamble got to it and clear it away.
Here's Tavares, 25-year-old from West Africa. USL time as well with the Real Monarchs. A lot of USL veterans on this Tulsa team. That one's poked away by Lacroix. Mafeka plays it for Brian Brown. Brown keeping an eye on a running Opano there.
Yeah, I think he makes the right decision. Opano's run takes 2 Tulsa defenders with him, so he elects just to play it back into the space that Opano's run created.
Over to Carroll, who scored his 2nd goal this season on a header back in the 31st minute. Brown gets past the defender, centers it, and sets it up for Kasipli, who just pulls it wide of the net.
Yeah, Brian Brown just bullies Husinho there. Gets the better of him, lays it back to Seth Kasipli, and Seth Kasipli tries a quick snapshot and just curves away from the goal there, though. And that was a great step by Zach Carroll. reading the ball into Gamble's feet, and Opino is off.
Another corner kick here for Reno. Chris Weehan with his assist earlier now has 15 in his 2 seasons with this club. Off the head of a bend this time. Here's Griffiths. Pretty impressive for Chris Weehan, a guy that was undrafted out of New Mexico. What a great sign that was by Ian Russell, a player that was phenomenal last year, broke the USL record in assists with 12. He was the Rookie of the Year and rewarded with a contract from San Jose in the offseason. He has played in 6 games with the Earthquakes this year. I think one positive to San Jose not having the best season, for Reno at least, is with Reno trying to make this playoff push, as you're seeing a lot of guys coming back down from San Jose, and you could maybe expect to continue to see that. Maybe even into the postseason. We've seen guys like Tommy Thompson and Jimmy Ockford coming down and playing here with Reno.
Yeah, I think that would be great for both Reno 1868 and San Jose fans. See guys who aren't seeing so much time with the Earthquakes but can still make a huge difference at this level come in for this playoff run. Remember, you need at least 5 appearances to play in playoffs. So guys like Tommy Thompson and Jimmy Ockford have a couple more to go before they are able to be a part of the playoff roster.
Richards with the throw-in. Opino is trying to backheel it there for either Mafeka or Brown. Good job by Munoz to get it out of there. Finds Tavares, and Tavares is offsides.
And Tavares trying to use his pace there to get between Brenton Griffiths and Brent Richards there. Just times his run a little too early, slightly offside.
Carroll wearing that captain's band, about to put it back into play. Good ball there, finding Weehan, but it goes off his chest and towards Tulsa. Whistle goes against Lacroix. Ian Russell not happy with that whistle. Sixth minute here tonight in downtown Reno. 2-0 for the boys in blue.
Delivery from Vukovic. Looks like it could be curling to that far post, but not enough to beat Bersano there.
Throw will come from Vukovic. Vukovic with some MLS time back in 2012 with Columbus. Here he comes on the attack. Tavares will keep possession for Tulsa, finds Munoz.
I think Tulsa are starting to grow in this game once again. We saw in the first half for moments keep the ball really well. Kind of fell apart after Reno's 2 goals, but now they're starting to grow into it again.
Lacroix sprinting up the field, trying to grab that one. And now he'll go to throw it in.
Lacroix has actually scored here at Greater Nevada Field. First ever USL goal here at Greater Nevada Field, but it was for Orange County at the time. Some good memories here. He just needs to find a goal for Reno.
It's kind of ironic that he did make that first one, and he's come so close so many times these last couple matches. Love to see him get one before the end of the year.
And he looks so dangerous for that Orange County team, playing as an attacking winger before his bad injury that ruled him out for the rest of the season. New position here at left back for him, but he's done very well, and he fits into the style that Ian Russell wants with an attacking fullback who can get up the field.
Well, that's what you have with both of Reno's fullbacks, him and Richards both. Richards, a former forward in college at the University of Washington. As Openo pulls one wide, but two guys that are more familiar with being strikers, yet they have really been outstanding in this role playing the outside.
Yeah, and Brent Richards actually filled in for a striker a couple times at the end of last year. We talked about those injury problems coming into playoffs last year. Did well, too. And that just shows what Ian Russell wants in his outside backs. They can get up and down, they can defend, and they can attack.
Here is Richards. Reno patient here, play it back to Carroll, all the way to Matt Bersano.
Really good combination from Seth Kasipli and Antoine Openo there, but Openo's touch just too heavy.
What you have right now, too, with Reno are a lot of guys that have played together for a very long time now. Guys that have played together for 2 seasons. I mean, the majority of the starting 11 has been together at one point or another. And you're really seeing the fluidity of that. And that's one of those things when you bring a Chris Weehan back in, is here he is on the attack. Finds Brown. And Brown had that one teed up. Couldn't quite get enough power behind it, though.
Yeah, and what a great run there by Chris Weehan. And just finds Brian Brown really well, but Brian Brown just scuffs that shot.
That's kind of a difference between some other guys maybe that come down from San Jose, even a guy like Tommy Thompson. There isn't necessarily that chemistry because Chris Weehan has played a lot of minutes with Antoine Openo, with Brian Brown, with Lindo Mafeka.
Yeah, I'm always really impressed when Tommy Thompson does come down, but you can tell that he doesn't quite have the same chemistry that Chris Weehan does. Everything is just maybe a touch or two extra, you know, maybe instead of 2 touches, it's 3 or 4. You can see, I mean, he is an incredible player, especially at this level. But you can see if maybe he played with this group a little more and trained with them, man, would he light it up.
Earthquakes in action this evening. Here's Kasipli. Seth Kasipli. And Kasipli hits the corner. And headed wide by Chris Wehan.
It was such a great run from Seth Kasipli. Just a brilliant diagonal ball into him. He takes on a couple Tulsa defenders, gets a little bit fortunate with the deflection, but then his shot just hits the post, and then Wehan's header goes just wide.
Disappointing result for San Jose. They had taken a 2-0 lead at halftime, only to see the Houston Dynamo score 3 goals in the second half and go on to win 3-2. Houston got the final goal in the 87th minute. That spoiled a strong effort early from Chris Wondolowski. He scored in the 37th minute, closing in on some MLS history.
Yeah, and that's similar to what happened the other day against Atlanta, going up and then conceding late goals to see a win turn into a loss all of a sudden. And I think that's happened a lot with San Jose, just losing by such fine margins. Starting out strong and then falling apart towards the end.
Luis Felipe getting the start in that one today. Came on in the middle of last season after playing for Fort Lauderdale. Signed by Ian Russell and Reno 1868, have developed him into being a solid midfielder for them.
And I think that's the big recruiting factor for this Reno 1868 team. You look at guys like Luis Felipe, who came here, made a name for themselves, and now they're starting in MLS. It shows that that pipeline is there.
Oh, what a shot there, knocked away. Serta comes up with another good save.
And Wehan strikes that so well. That's a difficult ball for Serta to judge. It's bobbing and weaving. You can see he struck it just right to make it an unpredictable shot. Serta does really well to get a palm on it, though. I think that's a bit fortunate for Reno. I think they get caught on the press. Referee pulls it back for a foul, though.
Here's Kasipli again, and Seth Kasipli puts a rocket up there, and Serta again. Talked about how many saves he's got this year. He's got one of the highest totals in the circuit. He has been good when he has had to here tonight. Not a whole lot he can do about some of these attacks, and he's been harassed all evening, but he has certainly made this a much closer score than it could be right now.
Yeah, I think Serta's done well. He did really well to not only stop the cross from Kasipli, but to catch it. I mean, that cross had a lot of force behind it, but he does really well to catch it. I mean, having the stat of most saves in the league, I think that's more indicative of your defense than anything, letting in a lot of shots. Not a stat he wants, but he's done well this season, I think.
Good job by Brown there. Opado knocked away. Redirected by Wehan, but then cleared by Tulsa.
Oh, and Wehan will be kicking himself for not just putting that rebound away. Opano has a great shot. Serta does really well to get down to him, making yet another save, but puts it right into the path of Wehan, and it's an easy head home for him, but he just scuffs it a little bit, and Tulsa walk away from that one relieved. Oh, and a great pass between the lines to find Wehan.
Here's Lindo Mafeka. offsides.
Yeah, I think Weehan just passes it a little too late. Lindo Mafeka continues his run. If Weehan just finds it earlier, though, Mafeka's through, but that pass from Brent Richards to find Weehan in the first place was fantastic.
Openo able to race that one down. And just pulled down to the ground by Tulsa's Husino.
Yeah, I think that's the right call there. Openo's trying to get the foul from Husino, protecting the ball, but he's just pulling into Husino there. I think the referee gets that one right. It is a tough call to make.
Less than 25 minutes left in regulation here tonight. Reno getting both of their goals in the first half in this one.
What a great ball from Mafeka, but Openo just drifts slightly offside. Another good little reverse pass, though. Mafeka's facing the other way and then just puts it across his body into Openo's path.
Want to find out how well you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every week against experts from across the USL. Colin Tabor, one of those experts. He is unbelievable in the USL pick'em.
Haven't gotten one wrong all season.
Unreal. Richards. I feel like Reno could have about 5 goals here in this second half. They've had a lot of chances as they have just continued to harass Fabian Serta.
Yeah, and Brent Richards does really well here. Cuts inside, makes Serta commit to his far post, and then just tries to sneak it in the near post, but just wide. Once again, I feel like it's a few times we've said that now.
Everything's status quo with the other games still going in the circuit tonight. Chance here for Tulsa. Bersano is able to pull it away, though. Sacramento still leads Portland 1-0. That game's at half. Phoenix and St. Louis in a 0-0 draw. Vegas and Oklahoma City in the 25th minute, 0-0. Team at the top of the whole thing, FC Cincinnati. They have put together an unbelievable year in the Eastern Conference, 75 points. They have lost only 3 matches in 32 times on the pitch.
And they just broke a USL win streak record, now 10 wins in a row.
Here's Brian Brown.
Yeah, I think Brian Brown runs out of options. Claudio Munoz closes him down really well, just tries to sneak it in the near post with a toe poke there.
Brian Brown setting the all-time record in downtown Reno for goals scored. He now has 19, one better than Dane Kelly, who scored all 18 of his goals last year. He was the Golden Boot winner in the United Soccer League and still remains the all-time leading scorer in USL history. Part of a season that saw Reno score 75 goals. USL record in their inaugural season. Not sure that's going to happen again anytime soon. That is an unbelievable mark that could last for quite some time.
Yeah, everything just clicked that season last year for Reno. 1868 just won the hearts of the city of Reno with their play, just their attacking style. I think now their target is to push further in playoffs. They were eliminated first round last year after getting a home playoff spot. Eliminated against OKC Energy. They're going to want to look to push past that finish from last year.
Orange County leads the league this year in goals scored. They've got 67. But they actually have a chance to threaten Reno's record. Berkovich trying to center it. Griffiths able to clear. Over to Paris Guy. Isaac Diaz. Openo trying to set one up there for Brown.
I think that's something that Brian Brown does really well. Just with his back to goal, up against defenders, just one touch layoffs and then spins off the defender to make a run. Openo's through ball is just too heavy for him though.
Look at goal there, and Matt Persano. Playing time with the Seattle Sounders 2 before coming to Reno last year. Shared playing time in goal with Andrew Tarbell. Now the starting goalkeeper in San Jose. He was back in the lineup tonight, Tarbell. First round pick out of Clemson last year. Bersano had been backing up Tarbell for the majority of the season, but switching places with JT Marcinkowski, a good chance for Bersano to get some playing time. Has yet to appear in the MLS.
I think that's really important to be able to bring Matt Bersano down here. I mean, it's tough to just sit on the bench all the time, not get minutes, and then all of a sudden, if Tarbell goes down, Matt Bersano finds himself maybe a little while without playing, having to go in an MLS game. So giving him time on the field is really important for San Jose Earthquakes. Great ball from Paraski to find Servania. Just once again, Tulsa missing the final ball. They link up so well until they get into the box.
You're right, though, about this Tulsa team. There's aspects that they do so well, and then they just can't find a way to put it all together.
No, I think they can find positives out of their play. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom with Tulsa. I think they play pretty well just in the middle third of the pitch, though. They just have to be able to figure out how to score more and concede less, which is really just the name of the game. In all honesty, that's the most important part.
Vukovic again. Guy Ben to clear. Openo. Serta clears it away.
And a really poor challenge from Husino there. He reads what Openo's doing, but just can't get a foot on it. Openo gets past him, and Serta makes himself big and makes a big save there.
Another corner kick for Chris Wehan. Wehan the assist in the 31st minute on the Zach Carroll goal. Griffiths getting tangled up towards the back of the box. Tulsa trying to quickly move it the other way. Here's Isaac Diaz. And he was trying to go over the top to Tavares and had too much on that one.
Yeah, Isaac Diaz transitions really well, carries the ball into a threatening position. Then his final ball, like we've said many times tonight, is just lacking.
Diaz came in at halftime for Alejandro Covarrubias. Adrian Husino came in for Josh Morton at halftime as well. Reno has yet to make a sub.
I think it looks like Jochen Graf is preparing over on the sideline, though, to come on and make his Reno 1868 debut.
Openo, left foot, and Serta once again there.
Oh, and what a move by Lindo Mafeka to get out of danger. It was a brilliant piece of skill by the South African.
Finds Kasipli. Lindo. Once again, Serta there for the save.
Brian Brown's not happy with Lindo Mafeka for taking the shot, but after you pull a move like that, you got to feel a little confident in yourself. The tail end of that might still be in the highlight reel.
Reno in this game, Colin, has had 22 shots, 10 of which have been on target, compared to 6 shots in the game for Tulsa.
And I think the amount of shots that Tulsa concede, a lot of it comes down to them funneling shots from deep. They kind of force Reno 1868 to take shots from distance, where Serta's comfortable with long shots. Kind of prevent the runs in behind.
Fabian Serta is going to add to his lofty save total tonight.
Yeah, he's made quite a few tonight. Servani with just a bad tackle on Seth Kasipli there. Late, clearly a yellow.
Final 10 minutes of this one here tonight. It's Guy Benz. Another corner kick for Reno. Serta came into the match the leading saves goalkeeper in the USL, 3 ahead of Josh Cohen from Sacramento. He should be able to distance himself from Cohen after tonight.
And Sacramento Republic is a team that has a pretty good record sitting at 3rd. It shows how important Josh Cohen has been in their season. In my opinion, I think he's the best goalkeeper in the Western Conference.
Played really well for Phoenix as well before going to Sacramento. As Tulsa is going to bring on Uzi Teyu. Third substitution tonight for Tulsa. Bicycle.
Yeah, and a bit of a grin from Brent Richards after that. He had to try it. Not a bad effort at all.
Teyu coming on for Gee.
Uzi Teyu, a guy who's had time in professional indoor leagues along with NPSL.
Openo leading the charge again. Weaves one in there for Mafeka, but he's offsides.
Yeah, Mafeka just drifting slightly offside there. He looked through, but he just makes his run too early.
A bend there gets it away. Brown was trying to find Openo.
Oh, what a great tackle by Brent Richards there. And still no substitutions for Ian Russell. And with basically the same team playing 3 times in a week now, and some very important games coming up against Timbers 2, Phoenix Rising, and Orange County. You have to think he'd give a rest to some of these guys, but perhaps he's just trying to build chemistry even more. I mean, reward these guys who've been playing so well in the last couple weeks.
Build chemistry, push the conditioning a little bit.
Yeah, possibly.
Want to stay up to date with all the best from social media around the USL? You can watch Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels.
Great ball from Seth Kasipli.
Brown rifles another one in there, and Serta up to the challenge.
Yeah, I think we could be looking at a rout in the second half if not for Serta. He's made some fantastic saves that look easier but are much more difficult. He keeps himself big. He cuts the angles. Reno have had a lot of chances.
One more for Brown. And Brown is just taken out by Serta.
And Serta just comes in late, Brian Brown just gets that little touch before Serta comes in, takes out Brian Brown. We'll see what kind of card Serta gets here. Going away from goal, I think yellow sounds right. Yep, and that's what the referee gives.
So a chance for Reno to add to their tally. Brian Brown, who picked up a goal in the 26th minute. 16th of the season, 19th of his career.
When it looks like Antoine Opano will be coming out.
And you mentioned before, Jochen Graf, he will make his Reno 1868 debut tonight. Reno picked him up a couple of weeks ago. Came over on loan from the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah, just a couple minutes for Graf to make an impact here tonight. And now we'll look to Brian Brown on the penalty.
Brown, swatted away by Serta.
And Serta once again making another fantastic save. That's a good penalty by Brian Brown, but Serta guesses the right way. Makes a tremendous save right there.
Brown can hardly believe it. Again, I'm not exaggerating. I think Serta has saved about 5 goals tonight. I mean, he has really done about as good as he could to keep this game manageable for Tulsa.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. And we talk about Brian Brown. He gets 1 goal a game. I think first half he got his quota and just can't find that second one.
Graf charging at that one. Scored 11 goals last year with Rochester. He's also had a lot of time in Sweden professionally. Ian Russell thought adding Graf would really add another quality striker to his team, another leader in the clubhouse as well for this playoff push.
Yeah, good experienced head, someone who's won before with Rochester. Also just extra attacking depth. With Danny Mazowski still out, I think he was a good addition to this team. He was available the 11th hour. Reno were able to pick him up.
Here's Vukovic. Ben gets it away. Back to Munoz. Reno's 2 first-half goals are holding up right now. And as you said, 4 matches here at home and a chance to come away with 10 points in those 4.
Yeah, and you look at the 4 teams out of playoff races, teams that Reno can beat, and they've shown it. I mean, they went into that run with a few games in hand, a few extra games to play compared to the people around them. And they were able to walk away with some great results here in this 4-game stretch.
Reno will make one more sub here. Mo Chow's going to come in for Brian Brown.
And Brian Brown, great finish. Could have had 2 or 3 out here tonight, though, if not for Serta, including the penalty kick.
Seth Kasipley. Trying to link up with Graf there, and it was just out of his reach.
Yeah, just a little bit too far in front of him. Tries to have a big step towards it rather than run alongside it and get it on the end line. I think he really wanted a goal there rather than just recover and try to put it back across.
Be a heck of a way to start his Reno career. Ticking down to the final seconds of this one. Richards is trying to avoid the corner. They'll quickly just put it back in play, though. Because simply clears it. Trying to preserve consecutive shutouts. Tavares. Lacroix pokes it away from him.
And Brenton Griffiths with a couple big wins in the air, showing his prowess and aerial ability.
See if they'll allow time for one more corner. Matt Bersano trying to finish off his 4th clean sheet in 6 games. Isaac Diaz. And it's Chow who heads it this time. There's the final whistle. And Reno takes down Tulsa 2-0 the final. Reno has won back-to-back games. They've won 3 of their last 4. And they are now just 1 point away from a return to the postseason.
Yeah, see Jochen Graf not happy with the timing of the referee's whistle. He wanted that last run to goal, but Reno walk away here with a 2-0 win.
2-0 Reno. Will take a quick break, come back. Kylie Diesner will have an interview down on the field when we return. Reno cruises once again tonight here at Greater Nevada Fields. What? Hey, Kylie, we're in break, so we'll be about 2 minutes, and then we'll send it straight to you. $90 seconds to you. So we'll go her, then back up here. Okay. Huh? Not that big of a deal. I said it's not that big of a deal. Huh? Oh.
I don't know if someone's going to tell us when we're going. Courtney, can you go ask the cameraman if he's going to tell me when I'm going? All right, ready, Brian?
Welcome back inside Greater Nevada Field here on Nevada Sportsnet. Reno wins it 2-0. Thanks in part to Brian Brown, and Kylie Diesner's got him the all-time leading scorer in Reno 1868 history. What does he think about that?
Thanks so much, Alex, here with the now leading goal scorer for Reno 1868 FC, Brian Brown. Brian, how does it feel to break that record tonight?
It's a wonderful feeling. I'm feeling really good to actually be the one to break my former teammates' record, my man, Dane Kelly. Shout out to Dane Kelly, but it's a wonderful feeling. I'm feeling happy. I mean, a little bit disappointed in myself personally, but for the team-wise, and we're happy with the win too. So it's good for me moving forward.
All right, and then tonight's win was a crucial one in this team's push for playoffs. What are your thoughts on the team's performance tonight?
It was a good one. A great game from the goalkeeper, from the center backs, to the midfielders, to the strikers. It was a really good game. Just for our strikers, we got to finish more. and that's been killing us. So, but we got to put the game away from early, and if we can do that, then we can enjoy the game even more, and we could dominate teams even more. So, but it's a wonderful feeling to get 3 points at home. Going into the playoffs, it's a good portion. We take it.
All right, thanks so much, Brian, and congrats. Back to you, Alex.
Kylie Diesner, thank you very much, and congratulations, Brian Brown. Once again, he is the all-time leading scorer, 19 goals now in Reno 1868 history. Colin, he has been absolutely tremendous at the top for Ian Russell.
Yeah, Brian Brown has repaid his faith. Ian Russell has shown him with 16 fantastic goals here, 19 overall for Reno 1868. He's been phenomenal as the main man for Reno this season. We talked about it on Wednesday, this team playing a really complete game. They did it again here tonight from the first whistle to the last. Really dominated a team that they really needed to come in here and dominate and come away with 3 points. You looked at these 2 games, Rio Grande Valley and Tulsa, with where those teams were in the standings, 2 teams out of the playoff race. You felt like Reno needed to come away with 6 points, and that's exactly what they did. And now they've put themselves not only in a position to make the playoffs, but if they can come away with some good results in their final 3, it's not out of the question. Reno can still finish in the top 4, and that's where they want to be and get a chance to host a playoff game once again right here in downtown Reno. Yeah, and you look at Real Monarchs, who are currently occupying that 4th spot. They've been in a bit of a meltdown lately. Reno will be eyeing that and seeing that they could possibly push themselves into that 4th spot and overtake Real Monarchs. Reno getting both of the goals in the first half action here tonight. We'll show you what happened in the second half here this evening. And boy, Fabian Serta was harassed during the entire second half. And he did a pretty unbelievable job to make this a 2-0 game. Yeah, some outstanding saves for Fabian Serta, leading the whole USL in saves made. He showed out here tonight with some great ones, including this penalty here. How he gets his fingertips on that one, pretty unbelievable. As Brian Brown was going for the brace, couldn't quite complete it. But in the end, it's Reno as fireworks go off over downtown Reno. Once again, it is a 3-point result for Reno 1868 and a time when they absolutely had to have it. So, with this win, Reno, as we take a look at the Western Conference standings, they are now currently in a tie for 5th place with the Portland Timbers, and they will play T2 this upcoming Wednesday in Portland. Next Saturday, they'll play in Phoenix, that team currently in 2nd place, and they will finish this season on the 13th of October right here in downtown Reno, as they will face the team that is currently in 1st place in the Western Conference in Orange County. When you look at those final 3 matches, Colin, what do you think about the tests that Reno has in front of them to finish out the season? Well, these are 3 huge tests, three teams that have been fantastic this season. I think the top 8, the playoff spots in the West, are pretty much wrapped up unless San Antonio can pull a miracle. But I think we can see a lot of shaking up in these last games between the top 8, who finishes where. I think it should be interesting, these final games, not only for Reno, but for Timbers too, for Phoenix Rising, for Orange County as well. So it's a record-breaking night here in the biggest little city. Brian Brown, he is the new king when it comes to scoring goals for Reno 1868. Put it in the 26th minute. And Zach Carroll in the 31st on an assist from Chris Weehan made it 2-0, and that is the result here tonight. Once again, back here 2 weeks from today as Reno wraps up the regular season against Orange County. Until then, want to thank our entire production crew for all their hard work. For Kylie Diesner down to the sidelines, my broadcast partner Colin Tabor, I'm Alex Margulies saying so long from downtown Reno. Reno 1868 the victors, a final of 2-0. Thanks so much for watching United Soccer League action here on Nevada Sportsnet. Good night from downtown Reno.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.